The first $100,000 is a bitch. Those aren't my words. They belong to the late Charlie Munger, the billionaire architect of Berkshire Hathaway. He wasn't being hyperbolic, he was being mathematical. If you're struggling right now, feeling like you're running in place while the world gets more expensive, listen closely. You aren't failing. You're just in the hell phase of wealth building. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why the first 6 figures feels like a death march, and why, once you cross that line, the next $1 million isn't just easier, it's almost inevitable.
Most people think the path to $1 million is a straight line. They think if it took them 5 years to save $50,000, it'll take them 100 years to reach $1 million. That's why 99% of people quit. They look at the math and see a life sentence of deprivation. But wealth building isn't linear, it's exponential. The first 100K represents only 10% of your $1 million goal, but it takes nearly 30% of the total time. You are doing the heaviest lifting at the very beginning when you have the least amount of momentum. It's like trying to push a Boeing 747. It takes a massive amount of fuel just to get the wheels to turn 1 inch. But once it's at altitude, it glides.
Let's look at the brutal math. If you save $10,000 a year and invest it at a 7% return, it takes you roughly 7.8 years to hit that first $100,000. During those 8 years, you've contributed $78,000 of your own hard-earned cash. Your investments? They only chipped in about $22,000. You are doing 78% of the work. Your money is basically a lazy teenager sitting on the couch, barely contributing to the household. This is why it feels like hell. You're sacrificing dinners out, driving the older car, and saying no to vacations, but your portfolio is barely moving. You're working for your money, and your money isn't working for you yet.
But watch what happens to that lazy teenager after the 100K mark. To go from $100,000 to $200,000, the second 100 takes only 5.1 years. You didn't work harder. You didn't get a 50% raise. The math just shifted. Now your teenager has grown up and started paying rent. At 100K, a 7% return is $7,000 a year. That's nearly $600 a month in invisible income. It's like having a side hustle that requires 0 hours of your time. By the time we're going from $600,000 to $1 million, it only takes about 6 years. Think about that. You're adding $400,000 in less time than it took you to save the first 100K. The roles have flipped. Now, the money is doing 80% of the work, and you're just the supervisor.
The hell isn't just in the bank account, it's in your head. Human beings are wired for instant feedback. We want the dopamine hit of the purchase. When you spend $50K on a new truck, you get immediate status, leather seats, and that new car smell. When you spend $50K on an index fund, you get a digital number on a screen that fluctuates daily. Early on, there is no status in wealth building. You're the person with the boring life. Your friends are posting vacation photos while you're looking at a spreadsheet. You have to survive the boring middle, that gap between 20K and 80K, where the novelty has worn off but the results haven't shown up. This is where the winners are separated from the talkers.
So, how do you survive the hell phase? You need to stop being an investor and start being a capital accumulator. In the first 100K, your investment returns don't matter as much as your savings rate. If the market drops 10% when you have $10,000, you lost $1,000. You can make that back by skipping a few nights out. But if you don't increase your income or cut your big expenses, housing, transport, and food, you'll stay in hell forever. You need to brute force your way to 100K. Use side hustles, job hop for raises, and keep your lifestyle fixed. If you make 60K and live on 40K, you're a king in the making. If you make 200K and live on 195K, you're just a high-income slave.
Once you hit 100K, the psychological weight lifts. You've proven to yourself that you can do the hard thing. You've built the financial calluses. You no longer panic when the market dips because you've seen the math work. This is the escape velocity point. You can actually afford to ease off the gas slightly, just like Munger said. You don't have to live on coupons forever. Why? Because the compounding engine is now large enough to survive your mistakes. 100K is the threshold where your capital becomes a living, breathing entity that wants to grow. Your job changes from builder to protector. If you're at $5,000 or $50,000 right now and you feel like giving up, remember this. The first 100K isn't about the money. It's about the person you become to get it. You are building the discipline, the patience, and the strategic mind that will be required to manage the millions that are coming. Don't compare your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20. Accept the grind. Embrace the hell. Because on the other side of that six-figure wall is a downhill slope that most people never get to see. You're closer than you think. Keep stacking. Keep pushing. Follow for daily wealth-building wisdom.